Welcome back. So it is Saturday, July 13th. So it's time for the Madpixel weekend news. There is not a lot that I wanted to talk about. I mean, I reach out to you guys like, hey, anything you want me to discuss? And, I reached out a little late yesterday. There wasn't too much going on, man. Really wasn't. Only thing that I really saw going on was people calling me a grifter because I didn't bust a nut over the 3 Starfy games that came out on the Nintendo Switch the other day. I don't know how I'm a grifter because I made a joking video playing some Starfy games. The hell, dude? But whatever, man. We got more important shit to talk about here. Super Sega. Remember that? We talked about that a couple weeks ago. The Super Sega. I have some concerns, though. Be straight up honest with you. But Alex Martin here emailed me, even though I did email them back a couple weeks ago and they never responded. And then I also noticed something else. Remember that website, supersega.com? I did notice something else. It's just gone. Site not found. I tried going there and look at their press release stuff, look at the just main site. Doesn't show up anymore. It just says site not found. So I don't know, man. But okay, back to the email here. So from Alex Martin, good morning, Ron. See below news in Spanish, I'm afraid. So these guys are in Spain. So yeah, I guess little press releases in Spanish. I'll try my best, very limited knowledge. So excuse me if I butcher it a bit, but please share, it says, along with our first video. Buenos dias. So good morning. 12:44 a.m. lines up. So it goes on to state something along the lines like we're attaching their first public or published video where they're gonna show the functions of the Super Sega. Essentially, they're gonna show the graphic interface, and then also like the execution of some games. Like they're gonna demonstrate it, right? And then also in the video they're gonna show some features such as the copying of cartridges to like SD cards. So you'll be able to like dump your games, I guess. And then it also says that you'll have that option in like reverse, and that'll be like special for game programmers, I guess. I'm not exactly sure like what that means. I guess like you could take that and put it back on a like writable media, maybe. I don't freaking know, dude. And then also the option for compact flash, which should be able to let you run larger games faster than like the CD or DVD drive. Okay, I did my best. So we're gonna check the video out. I do have subtitles in English. I tried translating as much as I can. Like the audio is kind of weird, but we'll take a look at it in a second here. So we've already seen this image before. I believe in the video he talks about when they're gonna unveil even more stuff. So we'll kind of go through that in a minute. So Alejandro, the product architect of Super Sega. Like I said, the website's gone, so I don't know. Well, take all this stuff with a grain of salt until like later on in this year, because they do plan on showing more, I guess, toward the end of the year. But let's get into it. Let's pull up the video. So nothing, not affiliated with Sega. They're going to show the graphic interface. Okay. Super Sega. So this is the graphic interface so far. Then you do see they have like where it shows the controller ports. There's like 8 controller ports, USB, and then the whatever the original Sega ports. You got the SG1000, SC3000 cartridge. Shows slots are empty. Master System cart, Mega Drive cart. And it says in this case it's using the Evo FPGA board. They don't have any cartridges in there. Just telling you that the slot's empty. And that they have some games in the SD card slot right now, I believe, is what he's trying to tell you. But slots are empty. But he's going to load some games. So we'll kind of skip ahead a bit. Wait, where did he say? Let me see. He just wants to show a little bit of the current operation. So Sega Saturn. He's gonna try to load the games. I think he loads Bomberman at first. Now, I did just want to like bring this up real quick. These were some notes. So before we get back into the video, it states the cores are not finalized. The core of the Master System has a certain delay in horizontal scrolling. The core of the Saturn vertically, I don't understand what all this means. Like this is like translated to English. Dreamcast core has a few weeks left. The operation of compact flash is being studied for accelerating loading of Saturn and Dreamcast. So I guess that's what it meant. And the email, you'll be able to make backup copies. Your physical cartridge stored to SD cards. Kind of expanding on what it said in the email. It's being studied for games to be able to be programmed on empty cartridges that will be available as well. So expanding on that part in the email. For any game from SD card to cartridge for SC, SG, Master System, and Genesis. Okay, so yeah, that's expanding on. This was like in their video. This is just expanding on some of the information that was mentioned in the video. So back to the video. So it's just some demonstration of it. You saw the user interface. Like there wasn't much going on there. It's just very basic. You know, it's not like basic as far as like text-based basic, but it's still fairly basic, to be honest. But yeah, okay. We got some Sega Saturn action. Let me see. What else? Continuing with the video, I'm also going to show a little about current status while we go. Information while we go. So what is he going to select? I think Shinobi for the Sega Master System. And he just plays that for a little bit. From classic when he played in the arcade when he was little. Okay. And like I said, this guy is not like, if you watch this video on his YouTube channel, it's the only video that they uploaded. It's all in Spanish, and the volume of his voice is kind of low in spots, and it's really hard to hear, which is why I was having issues getting the translation on some of it. Some of it I couldn't even, I just couldn't understand. Like, you know, it is what it is. First video, I get it. Like, you know, my first video on that I did on YouTube, probably couldn't understand a damn thing I was saying. But yeah, like he's just kind of showing like things are a work in progress a little bit, you know. I think he's talking about 32X, that they're trying to see if they can work on that. Loading from SD card maybe to play 32X games is one thing. And then as far as Dreamcast, we'll see if the optical drive allows reading for it. Otherwise, it'll probably, like, I don't know, like if you'll have, like, that was one of my concerns, I think, with, you know, Dreamcast, because if somebody would want to buy this and they have original Dreamcast games, you know, Dreamcast is special discs, right? So you'd have to play like burn discs, like, because you're not going to buy like an actual GD-ROM, you know, reader, right? It'd just be a basic CD reader or DVD, you know, reader, right? So it's probably not going to be able to read properly original Dreamcast games, if I'm, you know, thinking of this correctly. So it'd probably either have to be burned games, or they would have to load Dreamcast games through SD card. It's still all interesting, but that, you know, if they've been working on Dreamcast for a while, I mean, I still have, like, they don't show Dreamcast here. It's something that they're working on. But here we go. Little Genesis, some Golden Axe. I mean, this is cool. It's neat, but I just have to see more, right? Like, I have to physically see this thing, because just showing software side of it, while thank you for showing us this, right now, being honest, like, it doesn't, like, mean a lot at the moment, seeing this interface. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but just seeing the interface, it's not impressive. It just doesn't mean a lot quite yet until we physically see it. They have to show it physically, and it, like, them popping in a cartridge, it being plugged into a TV, no shenanigans, right? Like, physically show it, them demonstrating it in person at maybe a convention, or, like, you know, in a video somehow. Like, you know, people have to see it physically working. And I think he does start mentioning that coming up. And it shouldn't be like too long before that happens, right? Cool little loading screen. And some people have brought up, I think even in my previous video about this, them using Sega in the name. Maybe that's why the website's gone. That's kind of iffy, using Sega in the name. That's a weird thing. Might not want to do that. So let's see. I've skipped through this a bit because there's a lot of dead air and, like, just playing a game for a minute here and there. Games we've already seen running on numerous things. But he's just talking about the compact flash loading the games we've already talked about. But where does I think he talks about at some point when he's going to show the prototype and everything. September, they're going to produce the prototypes and we'll publish schematics in October, produce the chassis prototype like in the fall. So this fall, they should have something to show, is the way it sounds. To make the product official video in November, published a biography of his members and colleagues and all those supporting them. And then I think in like December, launch the product in December and publish it and launch it to the public. Probably do like crowdfunding or something. I like between now and then, by that time that they start asking for money, I would have to see a lot. I would have to see a lot to be like fully convinced. I'm just being honest. I'm glad to see people working on stuff like this. It seems very cool, interesting. Like if they could pull this stuff off, the Sega CD and Dreamcast FPGA implementation, that would be sick. To have all this other stuff, Sega CD, Genesis, Master System, SG-1000 would be awesome for sure. I like the interface looks simple. It looks basic. I don't like, it's cool. It's cool. No big deal. It's simple. I don't care about that. It's about playing the games. The simpler, the better, in my opinion, at times. Some people like flashy ass stuff. I don't really care, but we'll have to wait and see. Just got to see more. That's all there is to it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Really do appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.